Hi guys, I'm back again today with another video, and today we're checking out winter bike commute in sub-zero temperatures. So, I don't know how this is gonna feel, but it's not looking good already. Like I can see that there is like yay high snow on either side, but there is like paved road which is still obviously covered with snow. So my question is, how are you gonna bike in this situation? I'm even yesterday remember I said wouldn't you slip if you're like riding a bike in snow? Let me know, is it because of the tires? Is there like different tires for like winter, or they're just good? Because I'll be like falling, I feel like, in the snow if I was to bike. Yeah, but we're gonna see how it's gonna be in sub-zero temperature though. Because the one yesterday is like still sub-zero. Right. But anyways, before we start, don't forget to subscribe, click the bell button, let's get it.
I got a
Oh,
question
this is
from one of
Sweden.
my subscribers the other day. He was wondering if I do a lot of biking during the winter. And to be honest, I do some biking, but not as much as in summer. We've had around minus 20 degrees Celsius here for the last couple of weeks. So it's pretty hard to go out biking on a regular basis. Well, anyways, I was planning on taking you along one of my commutes from work, which I did the other week. We had, as I said earlier, minus 20 degrees this day, and this commute back home started at around 2 p.m. in the afternoon. I work out on an island called Rönnskär, and this part here is actually a causeway going out to this island. And we have a nice bike path going along the highway here, which is really fortunate, so I don't have to be biking out on the highway because there's a lot of mining trucks going along this highway here on the right. The road surface now is actually really good. The snow fills up all the cracks that are in the pavement usually during the summer, so it's actually a smoother ride now in the winter than it is in the summer.
Interesting.
And to the left here you can see the Bothnic Bay that surrounds the islands around here where I work. This train coming on the right here is delivering material out to my job. And now we've ridden for almost 2 kilometers and we're entering a small town called Skelleftehamn. This town, Skelleftehamn, was built around 100 years ago, mainly for housing for all the workers at the factory where I work. And it's approximately 3,000 people living in this little town. And even though it's a really small town, a lot of Swedish celebrities come from here. Among others, the Swedish author Stig Larsson, who wrote the Millennium Trilogy, the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo books, if you know. So we're approaching a couple of intersections up here. This is kind of an industrial area, so you have to be careful here because cars can drive pretty fast in these neighborhoods. So now we're leaving Skelleftehamn, going out in the countryside. And a lot of people have this notion of biking in Sweden that you need these fat bikes with studded tires. I have a studded tire on my front wheel, but not on my back. But I have really slim tires. I think there are 35 millimeters in width. As you can see, there's not a lot of black ice on the road surface. It's mainly just snow, so you get a really good grip usually. The snow, when it's this cold, is actually, you have more grip than if it's around the freezing point. If you look on the left side now, you can see the sun. As I mentioned earlier, now it's about 2:30 in the afternoon, so the days are pretty short here in Sweden during winter. Now we're entering an area where they're building a lot of new houses here. I have a friend who's actually building one of these houses, the gray one that's on my left side here. Really nice area. You have the river here on the left, so they have a really magnificent view of the river. This town we're cycling through right now is called Ursviken, and there lives around 4,000 people here. So now this part of the car road stops here, and as we turn right here, we enter the next section of bike path. And this is really a nice section.
How do you even know? But he's used to
make
it,
our
so he
left
knows.
turn here, we can see the Skellefteå River on our left side, and the tracks on the ice there are from snowmobiles. So during the summer, this is a really nice beach walk.
Yep.
Unfortunately, this green industrial building kind of
Blocks.
ruins the mood, I guess. The bike path ends here and we enter a car road again. But as you can see, there are not a lot of cars driving on this road at this particular moment. If you look to the right, you can see a typical Swedish house. Red wooden house with white corners and a red picket fence. That's pretty much as Swedish as you can get. There's a kindergarten, followed by a church on your right side. Now we're making a left turn here. If we go right there, we end up on the highway again, and we really don't want to do that. So this is probably the favorite part of my commute. We now approach the river once again, and I think we're getting a really nice sunset over here on our left side.
Oh, that's so picturesque.
This is, like I said,
so
the nicest part of my commute, but it's also the coldest. Since the river kind of cools down all the surrounding areas, this can be really freezing when you go through it. Like I said earlier, it's usually not that much black ice in my commute, but this section here can actually be a bit slippery because the trees are so close to the road. So in the spring, a couple of weeks, the sun has a pretty the sun is standing so low, so it can get really slippery here because the snow is freezing and thawing every day.
I think you need an e-bike for this.
So this area we're entering now is called Bergsbyn, which means kind of the mountain village. As you can see, there's not a lot of mountains in our site, but there's a mountain that's like 1 kilometer to our right from here. So I guess the name comes from that. There are a lot of horse farms that we're passing right now on both sides. And to our right now, the railroad that we saw in the early part of this video is coming back to us. So we're gonna follow that for a while now, and we have to cross it about 1 kilometer up ahead from here.
What are those? What are those? This blinky light thingy, like with 3 circles. What are those? Let me know.
And this town Bergsbyn, I think there are around 4,000 people living in this small town here. So now we make a right turn here, and we cross the railway and also the car road here. This is not the highway, we are gonna cross that a bit later. So now we're entering a new cycle path here, and while it looks like we're almost driving on the car road, this section is actually separated from the road. There's a curb here about 15 or 20 centimeters high, so you feel pretty safe cycling on this bike path here. And once again we have the river here on our left side. I get a lot of questions from people wondering how to dress for winter cycling during these extreme temperatures. The common mistake people do is to overdress. I don't really have that many number of clothes on me. Usually I freeze for the first 5 minutes or so before
you're exercising,
body temperature goes up, and then I'm more comfortable after 5 minutes. Usually the parts of your body that are hardest to maintain warm are your hands and your feet. So it's really important to have warm gloves, and I also have these shoe covers on my feet to keep them warm. I'll try to do a video on how to dress for winter cycling.
That would be cool. Actually, I wanna know. I don't know why I wanna know, but my face gets the coldest all the time, especially my nose. So I need to like cover. Like the only thing that it should be exposed is my eyes because I don't do well in cold. I love the cold, but I don't do well in cold. I think it's my people, right? We're not built for the cold, but there, I love it, but it doesn't love me. It's okay. So I have to cover everything except my eyes, probably because I just cannot handle the cold. I get cold easily, like in air condition. Even here, I'm sitting here, and do you want to know the temperature right now? Let me just Google it for a second. Hmm. And I don't have like air conditioning because our town we don't use air conditioning. I mean, we don't have a lot of air conditioning, especially maybe like modern houses. I doubt it. We're in the mountains, okay? We don't need air conditioning. Um, and we don't have heaters either, which is crazy. Well, the temperature right now, as of 1 p.m., is 22 degrees Celsius. We use Celsius, so if you use Fahrenheit, then do the math, so, because I cannot be bothered. 22, and I'm like, because I like cozy, I like cozy. And some people drink like iced coffee, and I'm like, it could be like 50 degrees outside Celsius, and I'll be drinking hot coffee still. Yeah. And everywhere I go, like if I travel, I always have to bring a blanket because I know, like in the bus or in the airplane, of course, I'm gonna, you know, bring. Like in airports, like they're always blasting the air condition like tomorrow, like this is the last day on earth. I don't know, something. Especially in our bus also, they make it like a freezer. So when you enter, you're like, you some of them you can turn it off, but some of them it's automatic. You cannot turn it off. So I'm always freezing in there. That's why I was like, I'm gonna bring my blanket everywhere. So if you see me sometimes in public, I'm just like, you weirdos wearing shorts and sleeveless stuff.
I'll try to do a video on how to dress for winter cycling in a few weeks or so you can watch what I'm wearing. So now we make a left turn up here and enter this small village called Tuvan. And this is really
Write the
nice
name.
village. There are a lot of really old houses here and like earlier horse farms all over the place. And like we said earlier, those Swedish typical houses with
Is he moving or is he going to work?
that are red with white corners are abundant here. I really
Ooh, I
like
like
this
this.
stretch of road, even though
Money for me.
we're only a few kilometers away from.
Yeah, I really like this. And if you say the same thing as someone, some people will go with like jinx, but here we say money for me, which is better. I'll rather say money for me than jinx because I don't care about the jinx stuff. But yeah, money for me. So next time if you say stuff with your friends or whoever, just be like money for me. Even if it's under your breath, so that we believe that, you're gonna get money that day or like abundance is coming your way. Yeah, I really like this place. It's with the trees and it's beautiful.
Road, even though we're only a few kilometers away from where I and a lot
Like
of other people
tiny.
live, it really feels like you're out in the countryside.
Oh, he meant.
And the road that follows here is kind of like a mini roller coaster. It goes up and down and right and left all the time. Notice all the red houses here on the left, like we talked about earlier. So now we're finally approaching the highway, which we have to cross here on our right.
Let's see how it's done.
And this can be a tricky part. The cars are driving pretty fast up here. But I think I was lucky this day. Oh, that's cutting it a bit close. So I have to be on this car road for only 100 meters. I now enter this cycle lane over here. But the cycle lane is not that safe either, because I think there's a car, yeah,
Ooh.
coming from the right here. And now I have to enter one of the scariest intersections.
Yeah, this is
of
where I'm gonna shit my
commute
pants now.
here and make a left turn, which is not that easy.
I probably will be stuck there for like a while. When I don't see any car, that's when I'm
Well,
like, go.
since it was a really cold day, my batteries died on me at the end. So we have approximately 1 kilometers left here, but unfortunately my batteries died in a couple of seconds from here. So I want to thank you for watching this commute video. So I live just above these houses that you see over here. So once again, thanks for
it's going
watching,
home.
and until next time,
So
have a
slow.
good one.
I am so slow. Duh, it's like 2 something, right? When he started the video. And I was thinking he was going to work. Because I was thinking he works probably like a different shift, you know? He was going home from work. But that is like the farthest workplace in the entire world. Especially if you're on a bike, right? If you're commuting to work on bike, definitely is the farthest. Like, will I make it? Will I even choose to make it? Or go to work that is far? No. Especially if my option is only bike. But I mean, there are trains, so I think you could take a train. You can tell me in the comments. If there is like an option for train, then yes, I'm gonna do that. But if my only option was to bike to work, no, thank you. Okay, I'd rather join like a like I would rather join like a cycling. Like I'll be an athlete for to be a cyclist because I cannot do like if I am gonna do that every day for work back and forth 17 kilometers, I'm gonna quit my job and be like, you know what? I'd rather be a cyclist because it's the same sheet, right? Like what the familama, or I'll just get a job that is close by, or I don't know. What will I do with my life then? Yeah. But thank God, I think there's options. He can drive if he has the money to buy a car. He could do bus or trains, right? So thankfully there's options. But yeah, let me know if you let me know if you cycle to work and how far it is if you do, right? Well, thank you guys for joining me as always, and this has been eye-opening because when I think about cycling to work, I don't think about the winter time because my head there's no option of winter, obviously. So anyways, thank you guys. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.